Why oceanic fish is shrinking in size. Commercial fishermen have noticed this problem long ago. Wild fish seem to be getting smaller in size. Over the last decade, this matter has been studied extensively. The conclusion is clear: fish are indeed shrinking. This concerns the most important fish stocks, such as sole, herring, and haddock. It affects entire species. But what's causing this shrinkage? As with many similar problems, the answer is climate change. And the problem of shrinkage isn't limited to edible fish. All species with gills have shrunk in size, including lobsters, squid, and sharks. These animals are ectotherms. This means that they're cold-blooded and cannot regulate their body temperature. Instead, it depends on environmental temperature. As the global temperatures rise, the animal's metabolic rate increases. This means they need to extract more oxygen from the water. This process also occurs naturally as they grow. The bigger a fish or a lobster gets, the more oxygen it needs. But their gills pose a limit on how much oxygen the body can absorb. Water contains very low concentrations of dissolved oxygen. So the surface area of the gills become very important. The more the surface area, the more oxygen a fish can take in. But when the water around them gets warmer, so do their bodies. A warmer body means a higher metabolic rate, and a faster metabolism means an increased demand for oxygen. Gilled animals simply cannot afford to grow big when it gets too hot. For every 3.6 degF of added heat, their body size shrinks by 30 to 40%. And each species is just another link in the food chain. Larger fish that feed on smaller ones also shrink accordingly. Smaller species actually have an advantage in these circumstances. There's yet another factor at work here. Oxygen levels in the water depend a lot on phytoplankton. Phytoplankton are microscopic marine algae. Like terrestrial plants, they contain chlorophyll and survive by photosynthesis. Most phytoplankton are buoyant and float in the upper part of the ocean. They need the sunlight that penetrates the water. Phytoplankton are the planet's primary source of oxygen. But as surface waters become warmer, there's less mixing of different layers. This stratification of ocean layers affects the organisms in the depths. The oxygen-rich water on the surface stays on the surface. The deeper-dwelling fish and other animals are deprived of oxygen. Tuna fish are one of the species that's been hit especially hard. Tunas are active and fast-swimming fish that need a lot of oxygen. They have to keep swimming non-stop to get more water through their gills. Ultimately, climate change affects every marine species. Of course, air breathers like whales and dolphins will not shrink, but they are threatened by a decrease in krill and food populations. Overfishing is another factor that contributes to this problem. In the years to come, we might have to get used to smaller fish. By 2050, around 600 species of fish may shrink by 14 to 24%.